First of all, welcome to the DJ Talks show. We're trying something new here where we're recording in a studio. I usually do Zoom sessions. And here is we're using OnPod Studios. So shout out to onpod.io. But so you provide customer services. So just correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
right? So you provide customer services to clinics. You also help them with client retention, right? And a little bit of social media marketing in a way. You
Mhm.
upsell services on behalf of clinics.
Correct.
That's a very unique service. And when we met, I told you this. It's the first time that I saw that kind of very niche service in the healthcare sector in Quebec. So just maybe I got it wrong. So tell us a little bit, about yourself. What got you into that business, and what exactly you do?
Well, I started 10 years ago. Not in the medical field. So
Okay.
I used to work in the car business.
Okay.
So that's how everything started. So I was providing services for our car dealership. So that's where I grew my company.
Yeah.
And then I would say 2 years after I was in the market, I booked myself a consultation for myself.
Okay.
And then I met the surgeon. She was awesome. And she was asking questions about what I do in life. And that's just basic questions that you're asking everyone in consultation.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh my God, she's asking me what I do. And I'm so passionate that
Yeah.
I'm like, I was just explaining what I was doing, like customer service. We booked all the consult. Well, at that time it was appointment for after sales. And then she turns her page and she's like, let's talk business.
Okay.
And then she's like, so I was talking exactly all the services I'm providing. And she's like, do you think you can do that for me in the medical side? I'm like, probably, yeah, it's something that I can apply to you. And she was so interested. So I left with a contract.
Yeah.
Well, it took me like a good, I would say, 5 months
Okay.
to get her to sign.
Okay.
But I was very persistent.
Of course.
And then she's like, yeah, let's do it. But it's a service that I provide, and it's very different.
Okay.
So it's scary at that time.
Yeah.
And I think right now it's still scary for most of the owner because it's very different.
Yeah.
It's not something we're used to do, actually, because I'm the only one that does that.
Yeah.
So actually what we do is we take out of the clinic all the admin stuff. So every communication that we have or the clinics has with the patient, they don't do it anymore.
Okay.
So all the incoming calls, so that's the first step. All the incoming calls goes to my team.
Yeah.
All the confirmation, the invoice, the billing, all the leads. So everything that goes through social media, Instagram, Facebook, on your website, all the leads that you get, everything goes towards my team. So why exactly? It's because right now in the industry, everything goes to the receptionist, which is not wrong, but it's not optimal. The closing ratio is not high at all.
Okay.
And we have no idea what's going on the receptionist.
Okay.
With the reception desk, we don't have any stats that provides, what's the marketing. Is it good? Is it not going good?
Is it working?
Is it working?
Yeah.
So that's stats and numbers that I can provide. So I can tell the clinics, the closing ratio, why people are calling us, and what are we selling actually. So the booking is higher.
Yeah.
The way I organize the day is more efficient.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's more profitable.
Yeah.
And all the patient chart are just, it's funny because everybody's like, oh yeah, opening a patient chart is easy.
Yeah.
It is not easy. Opening a patient chart takes time because there's a lot of information that we have to provide prior to consultation.
Yeah.
So that's the step that we do, and it takes time.
And
so
this is private clinics, right?
It is private clinics, correct. So everything is filtered. So before a surgeon, or not even a surgeon, but just like a specialized doctor, they want to meet the patient that is a little bit filtered. So they want to have like a patient chart with all the information.
Mhm.
So that's something that we can provide. So when they're ready to come in consultation, everything is done. Like forms are filled, patient chart is filled,
Yeah.
billing is completed.
Yeah.
So actually, the doctor is just there to take care of the patient.
Okay. I mean, what's interesting is this is how a little bit how we met, right? So
Hmm.
I went to one of your clients' clinics,
Yes.
and I was curious with the setup, right? So I walked in. You have a front desk who's really just there to greet patients and make them comfortable.
She's a greeter.
Yeah,
Hmm.
she's a greeter,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Take off your boots, make sure they got everything that they need prior to their consultation. So that service, that's something that everyone appreciates, right? And I didn't really see her answering the phones as much. It
No.
wasn't the typical clinic that I would walk in and they're going crazy on the phones and they're trying to serve patients. Um, and so I asked the manager at the time that, so how do you guys work, right? Like, this doesn't make sense to me because I've been so used to the traditional way of clinics being run where you have the front desk managing the incoming calls, managing the physician requests
Hmm.
on site, managing the patients. And so, a patient comes to you, that's your priority, right? You
Hmm.
want to make sure that you take care of them. But at the same time, you need to be able to answer the phones and not just book appointments, but sell,
Exactly.
right? So these are the things that the clinic manager was explaining to me that we have this company, Lauzon Communication,
Hmm.
that manages all of our leads. So that was, I was like, wow, I have to meet her, right? And then I told her to put me in touch with you, because I think it's an incredible service that is highly underrated, and people should know that
Hmm.
exists. So let's assume that we have a physician listening to this, right, or watching this, and what if they're thinking, all right, how is this service going to help my practice, or how are you going to help me, right? So I have a clinic, I have a private clinic, maybe I'm a orthopedic surgeon,
Hmm.
and I do some social media market efforts, a lot of marketing, social media, SEO, and all of that stuff, right? And I have leads coming in through Instagram, Facebook, and I also have phone calls coming in, right? How can you help me?
In many ways.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say the first step is marketing. So the marketing section, I would say, clinics, they don't have problems putting money into marketing. So that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm always saying, do put some money in marketing. So Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
SEO,
Mhm.
Google Ads,
Mhm.
it's all good.
Mhm.
Okay, so I don't do that. So there's a lot of company that they're very good into that.
Mhm.
But the problem is that's gonna bring leads. Okay, and that's where the issue is. People, the clinics, they don't know how to convert.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is so much demand in social media,
Yeah.
but they just answer. They're gonna ask, oh, what's the pricing for that type of treatment?
Yeah.
And they're gonna just answer the pricing.
Mhm.
But they're not gonna have a conversation, because the problem is it takes time, a lot of time.
Right.
And the receptionist is just, she's overwhelmed with all the phone calls, because the phone calls is just, it's never ending. Confirmation, appointment modification, I have questions regarding my upcoming treatment or my upcoming surgery.
Yeah.
It's nonstop.
Yeah.
Add that to, they have to manage the waiting room
Yeah.
with patient that's actually coming in.
Yeah.
um, Add that to all the tasks that the provider or the owner is just giving her.
Oh.
All the facts, all the prescription is just, it's too much.
Right.
And the problem, that's a problem also, there's just so much happening at the reception desk, that the main focus on converting leads, that the upcoming, what's the money that we're gonna have like next month.
Yeah.
We don't think about that. We just think about the fire that we have
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's the problem we see, and it's just because it's not right. It's just the receptionists are not trained
Yeah.
that way.
Right.
So my girls are not receptionists. Okay, so they are trained to how to answer the patient, how to time with them,
Yeah.
how to convert, how to open a patient chart,
Yeah.
how to close a surgery. So that's all stuff that they're trained,
Okay.
and they're not busy with doing something else. That's
Okay.
what they're doing 40 hours a week.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And they're busy, right?
They
They're very,
are
yeah.
busy, exactly, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of time. Like
Yeah.
closing, I'm always saying closing a surgery, it's not 5 minutes over the phone.
Right.
Takes time, like 35 minutes to
Okay.
45 minutes sometimes.
Yeah.
You're not going to spend $50,000
Yeah.
just by talking 5 minutes over the phone to a clinic.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with a $200 consultation or $200 treatment, is the same thing. People they have questions, they're anxious.
Okay.
They want a clinic that takes time to answer
Yeah.
their questions.
So do you have some sort of a step-by-step template, for a physician or a clinic that wants to onboard with you, right? So, let's pretend that, I'm running my clinic, I have a plastic surgery center.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to secure your service. What would that conversation be like? So the first initial meeting, let's talk about, I'm not sold on your services yet, right? So the first initial meeting, how would you carry that conversation?
I do ask a lot of questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because it's not everything is wrong,
Yeah.
and it's not everything is not, like, every clinic is very different.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that they do like and
Yeah.
they want to keep, and
Yeah.
there's stuff that they're like, it's not working well, but
Yeah.
I have no clue
Yeah.
how to fix it.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a staff issue, sometimes it's not a staff issue, sometimes it's just process
Yeah.
that they never thought would be available to put in place. So the first question I'm asking is, what's your platform that you're using? So that's it, really is my quite first questions.
That's like the EMR, electronic medical
Correct.
records. Okay.
Yes, so I work with a lot of them.
Okay.
So if you don't have a good platform, that I would say that's the main issue that you have. So you
Right.
need a good platform
Right.
to be able to talk and convert
Right.
and bill. So
Okay.
that's the first step.
Okay. And that's when you reach out to me to find the
Correct.
right EMR.
Yes, what's the best
Or-
on the market? Mhm.
Or based on your experience, if you can recommend, you recommend. But okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's a good options
Right.
on the market, but
Yeah.
I'm always trying to find a new platform that I can work with. I don't ask clinics to change.
Yeah.
If they do like their platform, I'm using their platform.
Okay.
Okay. I know a lot of platforms, so they don't have to train me on any platform.
Okay.
It's just we need to optimize the platform.
Okay.
So that would be the first step. And then I analyze all the process. So what's the process for your social media? What's the process with your phone calls, with your lines? How many physicians do you have? Do you have nurses? So what's your selling point? So what are we selling actually? How do we sell it? Okay, so it's all stuff that we do analyze.
Okay.
The patient retention is a big thing that I would say every clinics I would say they're calling me actually for that part.
Okay.
Because nobody is really thinking about how to bring the retention higher than what they're doing, because the retention is something we don't really think, and we
Right.
don't know how to work with our own patient that we have in our database. So the patient retention is the patient that we saw in the past. So I take that database and I sell over and over and over, and I keep contact with them to make sure that they're coming to their next treatment, if it's something we do offer, depending on what type of clinics I work with.
Yeah.
Um,
Incredible.
so that I would say that's a big step that I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first step is really a discovery, and then the second is, you talk about marketing. So once I agree to sign up with to get your services, then what's next? You take what, a couple of months to do a deep dive into my business to understand how it works?
Depending on where are we starting,
Okay.
sometimes I can do like a very quick integration within a month.
Okay.
Sometimes it can help take a good 2 months and a half.
Okay.
Really depending on what do I have to make, like a new processes in place. I do meet all of the staff. So I meet all the nurses, all the reception, all the physician, everybody has to meet me.
Okay.
And I need to understand what they do like in their calendar, what they don't like, what needs to be improved in the clinic, what's the flow in a day? Is there a lot of waiting time?
Yeah.
So that's something that I can help with.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to have a lot of waiting time.
Okay.
So all the treatment has to be put in a place strategically during like a day.
Yeah.
So it's all stuff that I'm putting in place.
Okay.
And all the phones line, because the phone lines is a big thing also.
Of course.
The clinics, they don't change anything. Okay, so you don't have to change the phone system. Nothing has to be changed. It's me that I'm like buying. It's very technical, but I put myself under your platform, under your phones.
Right.
So when the patient is calling you, the clinic, they don't feel like they're calling somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we're based up north.
Yeah.
All of my team is there. It's not a home-based office.
Right. Okay.
So
amazing.
But they do feel that they're calling to the clinic, and that's something. It's very important for me. Like the feeling of the clinic needs to be projected over the phone.
Okay.
So the patient doesn't feel like he's calling somewhere else.
Okay, that's one thing I was going to ask, because one of the mutual clients that we've worked with, I was asking them about how, like, when patients call, right? Yeah. How does that work, right? Because you're not a call center.
I am not.
Exactly. So when a patient calls, they have the feeling that they're calling Dr. X's office. They don't know that there's Lauzon Communication and the back end managing all of this. So what do? Do you assign, when you onboard a new client or a new clinic, do you assign customer service? I'm not sure what to call them.
Yeah, it's customer service,
yeah.
But I do hire staff, of course.
Okay.
I train them, but they're working by team.
Okay.
So for a clinic, they're gonna have a team. For another clinic, they're gonna have another team. So I don't believe in like typical call center that every clinics is just the phone lines are transferred, and like everybody can answer your questions, because every clinic is very different.
Okay.
We do offer treatment differently. Pricing is very different. The physician is different. The experience is different. So we need to understand what are we selling and where is the clinic. So every team is trained for one specific clinic. Okay. So they're not mixed and match.
Right, yeah.
So they do answer for the same clinic.
Yeah.
So they're able to answer, I would say, 99% of all the questions. And sometimes it's fun because we're chatting on Instagram, and then I'm asking, okay, what's your phone number? I think you're asking a lot of questions, and let's talk over the phone.
Yeah.
And then in 1 minute, the patient receives a phone call.
Right.
And on the phone, it says the number of the clinic. It's not saying the number of Lauzon Communication. So that's very, very seamless.
Yes.
And for me, it's very important that nobody knows about my company.
Right.
The patient doesn't have to know, and I don't want him to know.
Right. That's important for this clinic owners, right? Part of your branding is you want to provide excellent services, and we all know that one of the main issues that a lot of clinics have is managing phone calls, right?
Yes.
As patients, we always complain that I can never get through clinic A, B, and C by the phone. So providing a service like that and integrating it seamlessly into these clinics where the patient doesn't feel like I'm calling a call center somewhere else, that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know about the doctor that I'm talking about. It gets confusing. So it's nice to have that kind of seamless integration. You mentioned you place a team per clinic. Isn't that hard? Like, isn't that difficult to scale? If you have to scale your business.
It is not, but of course I would be 10 times more profitable if I would just be the regular call center and have 100 clinics and 50 agents that can do it all.
Right.
But that's not what I want, because I would not be here after the number of years that I'm into the business, because the services, the customer services that we do offer, it's not the same thing at all.
Right.
So it's I would say selling a surgery is more luxury,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like it's not, they do expect to have a type of service,
Yeah.
and if they're calling to a clinic that the agent is not able to answer basic questions
Yeah.
and know exactly who's the surgeon and who's the doctor, there's any chance that they're gonna book a consultation.
Yeah.
So there's no way.
Yeah.
So for me, I need to provide stats and numbers,
Yeah.
and I need to show them that we can bring you filtered patient and
Yeah.
good candidate
Yeah.
for operation, or for any, I'm saying operation, but it can be like a treatment, laser,
Yeah.
any type of treatment. But so we need to send them patients. So the calendar has to be full all the
Right.
time. And for that, I need to provide good services. That's where it starts.
Okay.
So basic marketing, it's to bring people in. But once you have the volume, you need to convert them.
Yes.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one of clients that I'd referred you to. After you had the conversation with them, they called me afterwards saying, "Oh my God, like we love her because she seems like someone who is very on top of her game. She knows what she's talking about." Because, you know, like we already said, your services, there's not many clinics that, well, many businesses that offer those kind of customized services.
Mhm.
And you just clarified it there. If you wanted to be super profitable, you would just mix the team together
Yep.
and scale as fast as possible. Then you'd be like any other
company that offers
Yeah.
call center, but I'm not that.
Yeah.
And I talk to my owners, clinics owner, I would say most of the, like every weeks. I know they're very busy,
Yeah.
but I do talk with the manager every day. So
Yeah.
I'm very, very close with my customer. I would say it's more partnership
Yeah.
than customer.
Yeah.
So I do talk every day with them. I know exactly the flow of every clinic every day. And I do take the time to meet, to go in clinics every month to have like reports, how the phone lines are going. Just to give you an example, last week, one of my clinics, like the volume just dropped. Like we had so high volume all the time. It was going well. And like over a week,
Yeah.
the volume dropped. So I'm like, there's something wrong. So we did a meeting. We found out exactly what was wrong. So that was like a SEO problem. So we fixed it right away. But a regular receptionist, they're not trained. They're not, they don't know. It's not their fault. They just don't know.
Yeah.
And they would wait, for the owner to say, hey, why is my calendar is empty?
Right.
It's not normal. And they're going to say, oh yeah, it's not ringing. But maybe like after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's where the revenue is not going well, because we're waiting to take action.
Right.
I don't wait. I'm on it every day, and we need revenue. So we need to know what's going well, and I'm very connected with the marketing.
Okay.
So if we want to talk about more like a new laser that the clinic bought, or a new process or something, they're in meetings, we're going to talk about it, and then the marketing team will build some reels.
Right.
And regular stuff.
Okay.
And then I'll be the voice to say what's going well and what's not going well. Okay, so let's say we did a promotion for injectable. Like a regular example. Is it working? Is it not working? I'll be able to say, because I know exactly what's going on the phone and what's the leads coming in. If it's not working, then we're gonna adapt.
Interesting. Yeah, that's really core to what you do, and that's a huge addition to any clinic out there that is looking for like not even social media management, because you work very closely with the social media.
Correct. We
coordinators.
entertain all the leads.
Yeah.
But I'm not the one creating the marketing, the reels, the videos and all that. I'm not the girl for that.
Yeah.
So again, there's a lot of options out there. I do work with amazing companies and service providers that do offer that.
Yeah.
I work closely with them.
Yeah.
But I'm always saying, your reception desk has to be connected with the marketing team.
Yeah.
It's hand in hand, because the girls at the reception desk will close all the actions that the marketing team are trying to implement.
Okay, so let me ask you. So who are your ideal type of clients? Like which, if you're going out there looking for people to work with,
Mhm.
just making sure that you don't want to waste their time and you don't want to waste yours, by providing services that they don't really need. Who are your ideal clients?
Usually, I have a lot of success with my, I would say, specialized
Okay.
medical clinic. So we say a lot of surgeon, but any specialized doctor,
Okay.
like pain doctor, food doctor,
Okay. Okay.
hand doctor,
Right. Yeah.
any specialized.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I appreciate you doing this in English because I know, English is not your first language and you're killing it. I need to get my act
You're
together.
French.
Yes. Yes. I know that's a different conversation. But okay. So you work with mostly specialists in the
Mhm.
private sector.
Correct.
And I know that you had mentioned you can also provide services, training services to clinics in the public sector, but it really depends. You would have to gauge in terms of volume and so on, right?
Yes, correct. So because RAMQ is very, very high volume.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not the problem. It's just sometimes it's the process
Yeah.
that it's very hard to change.
Yeah.
But I did in the past work with a RAMQ clinic and it went well.
Okay.
But everything is changing and the process it's very different. You cannot do everything that you want.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different with private. You have budget to do stuff,
Yeah.
marketing, it's just very different.
Yeah. We can't finish this without me talking about AI, right? And as I have my consulting firm, Teche Consulting, where
Yes.
we provide we help clinics with their clinical operations, right?
Mhm.
So we go into a clinic and we find whatever issues they're having, and we solve them by just streamlining. If it's an EMR issue, are they using it well? Are they optimizing it? Or is it the right fit for their practice, right? Or it can be a physician who needs, or a group of physicians who need the right AI tools. For example, AI Scribe. I know if you follow me on LinkedIn, so you see a lot of these. So, in terms of AI Scribe, I also provide consulting. And I created this new tool. It's a basic triage tool. It's called AImatchbox.com, right? So what that does is a physician who's looking to use an AI Scribe product, they can answer some questions based on their workflow, and then it would generate 3 of the best matches that fit their workflow, because it's so difficult for physicians to go out there and just use any product, any
Mhm.
AI Scribe to help. And for people who don't know what AI Scribe is, it's really a tool that helps you capture the conversation between you and your patient and provide you subnotes, right? So with AImatchbox.com, you can, as a physician, just put in your answer some questions, about 10 questions. It's very quick, very seamless. Answer 10 questions and it would give you the best matches. And if you want to see in terms of security, which ones are certified in Quebec, and I also go one step further to send you these details in your email, but also what are the best onboarding in terms of maybe create a template first,
Mhm.
before using the product. And these are the best practices according to the Collège de Médecins de Québec or the Ontario MD,
Mhm.
and Manitoba doctors, all these medical associations in the different provinces, right? So, putting that aside, I think I digress for a second there. But in terms of AI, I speak to a lot of companies out there because, as you know, there's so many different suppliers or service providers in the health tech space that are trying to solve the phone call issue with clinics, right?
Yes.
And so some of them that I've met, what they do is that they would act as a call center agent. So when a patient calls a clinic, they their AI agent would answer that call, and because it's integrated with the EMR, it would book an appointment,
Yes.
right? And they're dealing with private clinics as well. So how do you find that is that something that you're worried about in terms of the service that you provide? What do you
I
think
am
about that?
not worried I would say it's two different markets. So I'm more like very niche, not low volume, but very when you want to offer very top tier services. When you have very high volume and you're just selling, because I'm saying selling because that's what people are calling for. They want something and they want just a time and date and location. I would say AI would be fine, just to reduce the workflow and all the phone lines that you use. But when you were thinking about having anxious patient or like patient that really they have a lot of questions, they want to meet, they want to talk with a human, somebody that can feel, answered, understand, listening, laughing together, explaining the process. That's something I offer.
Okay.
I don't offer a date and time and location. That's an appointment. Just booking an appointment, everybody is able to do that. Yes, I'll set your appointment at the end of our conversation, but people are not paying me to book appointments. So that's really what everybody needs to understand. Booking an appointment, everybody is able to do that.
Right.
It's really understanding what the patient wants, and if the doctor is able to fix it, provide it, understanding what he wants, and know exactly if it's a fit for our clinic. So that AI won't understand that because it's not an appointment. It's a conversation.
It is a conversation, and you're talking about client retention and upselling different services of these clinics to their previous clients, right? AI is not going to do that, and at some point, as patients, we want to speak to someone, right?
Correct. So that's an irritant. I would say for a patient that is not able to talk with a human, at a certain point, it's not good for your clinic. So you need to offer. I would say I do use AI. I think it's awesome for any reminders, confirmation, modification, all the basic stuff. I'd say it's amazing. Use it. Use SMS confirmation. Use SMS reminders. Awesome. Use SMS reminders for injectable. Easy. I do say to my clinics, we need an SMS tool. But at one point, you're going to have the conversation on SMS. But I would say 98% of the time, the patient wants to talk with one of my girls before closing an appointment.
Right.
They're anxious. They want to know where they're going. Even with like the location for the surgery, the post-op appointment, the treatment, the nurses, is the doctor is certified to do that? It's just basic questions, but it's not going to be very easy to answer that and feel with the patient over an SMS.
Interesting.
It's more personal.
So because I see that you work with a lot of different tools, right? Like SMS tools, EMRs. And so I guess my question is in two folds. One, what kind of tools do you recommend to clinics? I know this is a very broad question, right?
Yes.
And two is, what kind of operational issues do you see that most clinics face that, sometimes you integrate these tools with?
Depending on every clinic again. But most of the time I'm gonna implement a good EMR. So that's the first step. And then we're gonna the problem with EMR, so if everyone is looking to build a good EMR with a good marketing section.
I'm listening.
Good marketing section. They all have marketing section and reports, but it's not optimized. So if everyone is looking to build something, hit us up.
Absolutely.
So, but I would say I do have the EMR. Then I work with a marketing tool, like a marketing campaign. Something I would say in the field is CRM, so CRM.
Customer
relationship management. So I know a lot of them. I don't have one in particular, but I if a clinic is already using one, I'm going to use that one. But if they don't, I'm going to use mine. So depending. And then SMS. SMS, I use 3 platforms.
Okay.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
And all the history goes directly in the patient chart. So
Yeah.
that's something awesome.
Right.
That because all the conversation has to be in the patient history.
Yeah.
So that's something we do actually.
Yeah.
And then all the pictures that they're sending, everything goes in the patient chart.
Okay.
So so that's something like when we say at the beginning, all the admin stuff,
Yeah.
it can be it can be heavy
Yeah.
to have all that.
Yeah.
So we take care of that. So if you're doing any virtual consultation, you need the Zoom link, pictures, consent form. It's all stuff done directly here with my girls.
Okay. You know, in terms of mistakes that you notice clinics making, maybe a common mistake, right? And I'll speak for myself. You know, I hired a few project managers recently, and you know, so I had them visit some of my clients just to relook at how they work and how we can optimize, you know, their EMR. And before we even got into the EMR, we noticed that they still use paper, right? They still use paper charts, and I'm like, it's 2025, right? But
I
it
was
works.
thinking about something else,
Yes.
but that
Yeah.
I know it's still happening.
Yeah.
Not with me.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, that would, if you're still using papers, call me. We need to fix this. And there's a way. It's easy.
Yeah.
But no papers.
Okay. So for you, what issues do you notice that are often?
I would say, again, with the phones.
Okay.
It's a big issue.
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
Phones is so hard to manage.
Yeah.
But I would say that they don't see the phone lines as opportunity. They're seeing phone lines as heavy work.
Right.
As hard to manage. That they're not seeing that they need to change their mentality with that.
Yeah.
So and everything's gonna change. Because the phone lines is your revenue.
Right.
And as soon as you're understanding that, everything will change with your clinics.
Right.
And the reception desk is not heavy.
Yeah.
If it's heavy, the reception, admin, billing, patient chart, forms, it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
So as soon as you're removing all that, you're just seeing with your patient, and that's your main focus.
Interesting.
It's not hard to manage a clinic. It's hard when you're putting every task at the front desk or with one manager.
Right.
And that's hard.
Interesting. You know, like on you know, Teche Talks, you know, the podcast that I'm hosting here, I like to interview or have these interesting conversations with entrepreneurs in the health tech space, physicians with or clinicians with interesting stories, right? Or clinician entrepreneurs as well. You know, I've had nurse practitioners who are, you know, mobile clinic, like Diana Gomez, you know, she's a good friend of mine. I've spoken to Dr. Godalovich, she's an orthopedic surgeon, right? That actually I'm supposed to be releasing that episode soon, you know, where she does limb lengthening, right? When I talk about that with my friends, are just like, what?
I will listen to that for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, I like to talk to just, you know, people that are in the healthcare space trying to solve one problem or another. And one thing that I like to just know is, I like to ask is about just how you manage all of these tasks that you're doing in terms of, I know that you have a daughter, right? And she's what, 18 months, right? So she's 18 months. And so you have a daughter, she's 18 months. You have a team of close to about 20 staff, right? It's a big team, right? And you have the housing project that you're working on. You know, like maybe you don't want to talk so much about that. We'll just leave it at that.
I don't mind. It's just, of course it's part of my everyday. Building a house, and we're not building with like an entrepreneur. So it takes time, but I would say it's not that bad. I would say I'm a huge fan of process. And like every hour I work with blocks. So my day is I drop my daughter at the daycare. I go straight to
The office?
I go straight to the site.
Okay. The construction site.
The construction. I go straight there. And then because my my boyfriend is working, so I'm more flexible, and it's different because he worked in a construction, so they need to start at 6:30.
Yeah.
We start usually at 8:30, so I have time in the morning. So I go there, I talk with the guy, pretending I know what I'm talking about. And no, but fun fact, I learn a lot, and it's back and forth by phone with my boyfriend.
Okay.
And then I go straight to the office. Depending, every day is very different. Like it's not. Every day is very different. So it's either I go in my car, I go straight at the office. I need to train the girl. Okay, today is an integration with the new girls, or today it's a meeting downtown. So I go straight in Montreal. Downtown with one of my clinics, or they need to implement a new EMR, so they need training on that. So I go there, I train all the staffing. I go there because I don't know, we have like so tomorrow we have one of my clinics we are filming like patients and all that for social media. So I go there, I help with all the day-to-day meetings with the manager. So every day is very, very different, I would say. But I'm a huge fan of process. And every people of my team every day will talk with me. Okay. And I will say the planning of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have like a quick meeting with them every day?
Every morning. Yeah. A quick meeting in the morning, say exactly what's the lead of yesterday, what has been booked. Yeah. Who needs to do any follow-ups? Yeah. What's the marketing that's going to be launched today? Yeah. I need a feedback on that. Yeah. And I look at all of my clinics' calendar. Yeah. And I tell my girls what has to be changed, what's not working, or if we have an empty spot, that's not going to it's not supposed to happen, an empty spot. Yeah. So I looked my upcoming week or my upcoming day, and I chat with the girls, know exactly what has to be changed if a patient chart is not correct. So I'm a very, very handy.
Yeah, hands-on.
Hands-on a lot. Yeah. But I would say when you're organized, it's not that hard.
Right. And in terms of just mindset, right? Running a business at the level that you are, like I know, like you're young, you have that energy. Every time that we talk, there's always that energy of ideas. Let's do this, let's do that. Let's improve, clinics, and it's always exciting because I always have that energy, and sometimes if I'm having that energy with my friends, and they're just like, just shut up, man.
I know. I know. Sometimes it can be pain a lot. The answer, I don't know. I'm so passionate. Yeah. I'm in love with my job. Yeah. I'm in love with my clinics, my owners, all the teams, everyone that I do work every day with them. I'm in love with them. Yeah. And I think there's so much opportunity in the medical field. Yeah. That it's not hard to implement. Yeah. It's just nobody knows about them because they're trained on medical. They're not trained on, all the things that we spoke about. Right. It's just, I would say, it's passion. Yeah.
And do you have any habits that you try to implement in you do on a daily basis that help you stay focused on the goal, right? I know you like to go for walks, long walks.
Yes, so long walks, I would say with my dog. Yeah. Right now, my daughter doesn't want to stay in the stroller. Okay. So it's harder. Yeah. But my boyfriend would say, if she's not going to hot yoga every second of day.
Second of the day?
A second of the day, she's going crazy.
Okay.
So hot yoga, it's saving me.
Hot yoga? Really?
Hot yoga. It's life-changing.
It's funny because, I go to the gym every now and then in the morning, and I go to the sauna after that. And some of the guys that I'm there, most of them are entrepreneurs too. And one of them he was like, let me put you guys on game. I do hot yoga twice a week, and I'm like, man, like he's ripped, like he's fit, right? Yeah. And it's a slightly older guy in his 50s. I mean, I'd say it's still a young guy, but he's like, you guys should try hot yoga, and I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Like,
I would say on
what does it do?
45 girls,
Yeah.
there's like 2 guys,
Yeah.
and we're seeing them.
Yeah,
We're like,
you're seeing more.
yeah, and it's most of them. It's just they have been, they're coming with their girlfriends.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at one point when you're gonna try it,
Yeah.
and tell me after it. It's never used drug in my life.
Yeah.
But when you're going, like when you're finishing your hot yoga,
Mhm.
it's like you're drugged.
Yeah.
It's like you're like in awe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard to explain.
Yeah.
But it's there's a feeling. Hot yoga, it's an experience.
Yeah.
And I was not a big believer in like spirituality and
Yeah.
all of those stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, no way.
Yeah.
And at one point, with the business and all that, you really need to find something
Mhm.
to the stress can be very
Yeah.
heavy sometimes.
Yeah.
So you need to find something that's going to de-stress.
Yeah.
So the sports
Yeah.
is one of them.
Okay.
So hot yoga, I tried it.
Yeah.
And when they're just saying things, I'm like, yeah, I'm such a believer in hot yoga.
Amazing.
At one point, I'm gonna open one.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe I'll
maybe like a spa clinics
Yeah.
or something. I'm gonna
Yeah.
mix something.
I believe
maybe.
you. I believe you. Whenever I sit with you, there's always ideas
Always.
coming up. I'm like, I have to stay focused,
Yes.
otherwise I'm gonna run a few businesses here. No, it's I think it's something. It sounds interesting, right? And I might try it. But if there's just one thing that you can leave, like that, there's so much we can talk about here. How to help clinics in terms of you do. I think we have like an overlap of services that we provide,
Mhm.
which is all about operational efficiency, workflow automation,
Reducing workflow in clinics.
yes, in clinics, and then you go one step further
Mhm.
with client retention and some sort of marketing
Optimize revenue. Mhm.
optimizing revenue and
Mhm.
marketing strategy, even though you're not a marketing agency.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's not like buying a billboard
Yeah.
on the 15.
Yeah.
Because marketing is very large.
Yeah.
So when you're saying marketing, sometimes people they don't know about
Okay.
marketing. What's marketing?
Right.
In 2025, there's so much marketing
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find a good one that
Yes.
can, fix your problems.
Yes, and that what I've noticed is, and that understand the healthcare system and the healthcare system in Quebec.
And all the laws
And
that's coming with that. Yes.
Yeah. So you need to be very aware of all of that. So if you were to leave one thing with clinics, in terms of just tips and tricks, or things that they should know, maybe without necessarily signing up with you,
Mhm.
like what just free value can you send
Well,
out there?
first step, I do offer just training.
Okay.
So if a clinic is not like, okay, let's go for full day-to-day monthly management and all that, I
Yeah.
do offer training.
Okay.
So that's one step, like yearly training
Yeah.
with medical groups.
Yeah.
But tips and tricks, I would say connecting the reception with the marketing department.
Okay.
So that would be the first step. Second step would be implement a CRM for your reception desk
Okay.
to know exactly what's coming in
Okay.
your phones
Yeah.
during a day and what has been booked.
Yeah.
So I would say just that there, if you can implement those two, because I can say like 20 tips and tricks,
Yeah.
but you're going to listen to that and
Yeah.
you're not going to implement one.
Yeah.
So I prefer to give you two.
Yeah.
And as soon as you have that,
Yeah.
you're gonna know exactly what's wrong with your clinics.
Right.
You're gonna know if you're seeing like, okay, one phone calls at 9,
Mhm.
calling for an information about that treatment,
Yeah.
not booking, and for what type of reason.
Right.
As soon as you're gonna have that for a straight full week,
Yeah.
you're gonna have stats.
Right.
And if you're just saying not booking for pricing reason, proximity reason, then you're gonna be able to find know where your problem is and find solution.
Yeah. That'll give you a good pulse.
A good pulse, exactly. But if you don't have the pulse, that's the first step.
Okay.
I do help clinics to implement that. But if you want to do it solo,
Yeah.
I would say just implement that. Ask your reception to fill just a basic Excel sheet. If you don't know what's a CRM, Excel sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing. Well, thanks for making the time to join me here today. I'm sure that we're gonna have another session like this.
100%.
Yes, because I think there's so many things that I wanted to understand with your business, but we're running out of time here. We both have busy schedules. So people if someone's interested in contacting you, to just have a conversation, how can they find you?
LinkedIn.
Okay.
Mostly Instagram.
Okay.
I have Lauzon Communication.
Okay.
And personally, it's Jolie Lauzon for Jolyanne.
Yeah.
And so I would say LinkedIn.
Mostly.
It's mostly, yeah.
Okay.
I do post every day. So.
Okay. I'll leave the your contacts in the show notes. But thanks again for showing up today. And like I said, hopefully we can do this again. And again, shout out to On Pod Studios for hosting us today. I think it was an incredible experience here, and I think they have locked in a client for for the future. I might bring my whole community here to record this
it's
episode.
True. I'm the first.
Yeah, you're the first,
yes.
right? So so that's we'll be in touch, and thanks again.
Thank you.